Okay, I'm working on Hoglet again today. After taking a little detour again on working on ignition boxes, I bought a couple Model T coils at a flea market for. I got a couple of them for $5. One of them is I checked with the meter, and one of them is rebuildable. The other one, nope. The secondary winding is kaput somewhere, but I can use that one for parts. But anyway, back to the Hoglet. I've got it set up here on my table, and I'm kind of trying to decide how I want to set the box. I'm not sure if I should go with it. It would end up being like that, sticking off of the board. I'm almost thinking I should go this way with it, and then that way the wires would be shorter going to the spark plugs. I don't know. What do you think? You leave a comment down below if which way you think it should go. I'm thinking it should go this way, but you know, that's just my opinion. I could turn these out, the copper or the exhaust fittings, and then have it sitting straight, so I could have it turnouts on them. I don't know. What do you think? Like I say, I'm thinking this way. If I'm all wet, you let me know. Anyway, I'm working on the standoffs for the bearings and the shaft for the belt here. So there'll be a standoff here with a bearing in it, and then the shaft going through to the pulley here. This is all going to get covered with, eventually get covered with a belt guard. So if I did put the box somewhere like that and came like that with the wires, they'd be protected from the belt. But like I say, I'm thinking maybe it should go this way. It's just a little too wide. I couldn't squeeze things together in there anymore. I guess I could have. I guess I could have took the circuit board, put it at an angle. I could have gained an inch maybe on width. But by the time I put the coils in there, 2 coils on the end, and the circuit board laying flat, just didn't have room in there to make it any shorter. So, but anyway, I'm working on the standoffs. So I've got some material roughed out over here and on the surface plate. Let's see if I can try to get you in the scope of things. My okay. Trying to see where I'm trying to see the viewfinder, but I can't see it from this side. I'll have to switch to the other side over here so I can actually see the viewfinder to see what you're looking at. Oh, that's not so bad right there, I guess. I've already laid out the top line. This is kind of what I'm gonna shooting for. And what I'm doing is laying out the bearing location. I've laid out the height. Now I need to lay out the width of that, and or lay out the center line on the width. And I'm not sure what I ended up with on width wise. I just cleaned up the blocks, so I didn't care what the dimension came to. And it's 2 inches 245. Get a pencil here. So I'm gonna take 2 inches 245 and divide that in half. 1 inch 122. So we'll take the height stand over here and set that at 1 inch 122. So we gotta go up with it to get to 122. Got to go past and then get to 122. 122. And then I take my high stand with the indicator on it and go over here and pick up 1 inch 122 down here. Down here at the bottom. And up. Bring it up. I'm going to set my 0 over on this side right there. Bring it up till. Oops, I'm going down. Sorry. Right there. It really doesn't have to be all that accurate, but the ends I'm going to do it. I'm going to. So I'm still in, and then we'll just take the scribe, come down on that. If I can get there. Look at it. Tighten the top one so I can fine adjust it down. What I do is go beyond and bring it back. Tighten the thumb screw. Okay, so we're ready to do some scribing. Get the blocks laying here. I got one that the first one, the one I'm going to set up on first, scribe or dike them. And we'll just lay a scribe line there, and this one's scribed without the dike. I can see it right there. There we go. And now I'm going to go over to the lathe and get the forejaw on, and then I'll come in and pick up that point on. I'll pick up the center of the cross hatches there, which is right there and right there. So you've seen me put the forejaw on before. I'll come back when I'm centering that in after I got the forejaw on. So, okay, I got the forejaw on, and I set the jaws to be kind of what I'm envisioning it to be. Let's move this out of the way a little bit. Yep, got too narrow. Let's see, I got that one about there, that one. And so I need to move this one up a little bit. Oh yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Now, just touching it. That one's on. This one should be just on. Okay. Move in here. I don't know if you guys can see the scribe mark yet. I can. Kinda. And we are too far in, so back this jaw out. Push it over this way a little bit. So I get to the scribe line a little more. Just a tad more. Oops, I must have pulled on it. It's got to go that way now. Went too far.
That's looking pretty good right there. So it's got to go that way. So I got to back out, back this out, and then push it. And push it downward. I don't know if you can see the scribe mark. So I got to go down. Make sure I hit that. So a little more. Didn't back it up far enough. Right there. And side. Tighten that one up. Tighten this one up. Now, one other thing I'm going to do now is check to make sure I'm straight. I didn't stick a parallel underneath or anything, so I'm going to put an indicator in here and check that. I'll put it in my, hopefully put it in my boring bar holder. Oh, look at that. It's in my toolbox where it belongs. I was looking for it. I've got this habit of not putting things away, as you can tell by looking around the shop. It wasn't like that when I was working. Never left my tools out because I was afraid somebody would run off with them, I guess, more than anything. All right. Yeah. Move you over here. Make it focusing at all. I don't know if you can see the indicator or not. It's kind of white on the viewfinder. So I'm gonna come in, touch, go to 0. And then crank it in. And we're definitely off. We're about 10 thousandths off, so it's got to actually come out. So how am I going to do that? I need to tap it. I need to be able to tap it outward. Let's see if I can loosen this up a little bit. Loosen that up just a tad. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a heavy parallel and stick it in here and just tap it out here. Oh. I thought it was out, but I guess it's in. My mistake. That's up against the step. So actually this end is going to have to come out. Yep. I don't like banging on my parallels that way either. I can find enough screwdriver or something else. Or a chisel. It's got a little bit of a... No, sir. It's loose. Loose that way. I'm gonna have to loosen up the side a little bit too, I guess. I got the e-stop hit, so. Would have been easier if I had parallels the right height here. I should actually measure these and make myself a set. You know, it would solve this dialing in crap. We have it down to about 3.5 thousandths. I'm shooting for a plus or minus 2. 0. This is, I think this is a brake shoe tool. But anyway, it's a little springy when I tap on it. Let's see if I can find something a little heavier. A regular chisel. That might work. Okay, now we're on the 0 there. And half a thou. Well, yeah, about half a thou. So let's see if it'll stay when I tighten it up. Tighten this one back up. Snug this one up because I loosened both sides. And back my indicator out of there, I guess. We'll have to go back in and check it. Make sure everything's tight. I don't want that coming out and flying out and hitting me. I got enough health problems that without making some. Alright, we'll go to 0. There we go. I actually hit it. Okay, the 0 in there. About a half a thou. Now I'm going to go back in and check to make sure that I'm still on center. Set this up here because we'll probably use it on the next one also. Bring this dead center back up here. Back you up here and bring the dead center up to make sure I'm on the scribe line yet. Looks pretty darn close to me. I'm going to call it good. So, now we drill a hole through it. Take the dead center out, put the drill chuck in. The inside hole, the clearance hole for the shaft is not critical. It's the bore that's going to be critical. Well, it's really not critical either. I can shim it or whatever I have to do to line it up. But now that's going to be a little off center, so I don't want to run it at like 1400 RPM either. I'm going to try for 600 RPM, and we'll see how badly it shakes. Make sure that it ain't going to hit nothing here. Nope, might you stop. Ooh, she shakes a little bit. I'm still going to go a little lower. 360. OB2. I don't like it. I don't like it shaking and rattling or rolling like that. Oh yeah, that's much better. Much better. Go in the center, drill it. And that shaft diameter out there, I'm going to make it clearance. I'm going to make it clearance for the inside of the race, the inside race on the bearing. I'm going to make it a clearance for that. If I can find my calipers. They're not in the toolbox though. Oh, I used it over here checking the width. And that clearance, or the inside raise diameter is 550, so I'm going to go about 560. So we'll probably bore it and then, or drill it and then bore it. Here we go. Where's my chuck key? This is a 500 drill. And this is 70, 75 T6 aluminum. You've heard me mention it many a time. This drill is dull. So, I get to sharpen the drill. I think I'll just hand sharpen it. Yep, it's got a dull spot right there. I'm just gonna go over and quick hand sharpen it. Or attempt to. Alright. Sounds like an airplane coming in. That's my grinder winding down. And what I do when I hand sharpen a tool, or drill, I just take and quick make a check to make sure that the lip are about the same length. Yep. So should drill halfway straight. Otherwise, one flute will take the whole load and your drill can walk off. But this is a big drill, so I shouldn't worry about that. I shouldn't have to worry about that. So, if it'll drill. Oops. But not the best. I think I'm going to poke a 1/4 inch hole through there first, or something smaller, instead of jumping to the right to a 1/2 inch. I'm going to drill it with a 344. Doesn't look like it's in the best shape either. I do have a can't think of the name of drill sharpener. Not real happy with it though. It does. The smaller drills I use it, but for the bigger drills, I'd go over and hand drill it and take my time. I didn't take a whole lot of time on this drill. 7075 T651 it's pretty tough material. That's That's what the cylinders are made of on my Hoglet. It doesn't. If they do not have cast iron sleeves, they're running on aluminum. They're running cast iron on aluminum, cast iron rings. It doesn't have O-rings. It has cast iron rings. I do not like using O-rings in combustion engines. That's just my personal preference. I know there's people that have used them and they work just fine, but for me, I take the time and make the cast iron rings. They're not that hard to make. Okay. Well, we got a 344 hole through there. Let's see if we can make it 500. I don't know if I have a 64th over or 32nd over. Actually, no, 16th over. I'll get it right. 60 thou. Yeah, you can see one flute is a little bit longer than the other. That's why the chip on one side is bigger and the other side is a little smaller. So it's off a little bit. And some of you out there probably go, oh, that's off a lot. Yeah, well, it is. But it drilled. And when I have a dull drill in my drill decks, I usually put them in down. And if it's dull, I turn it the other way. That way I know I can look at my drill decks and go, oh yeah, that one's dull, I gotta sharpen it. Just my own little quirk, you might say. All right, now we need to get a boring bar set up.